A national political analyst, a lawyer, a political strategist, an author. I'm told she can even put an addition on your house or improve the condition of your sickly house plants. Debbie Georgatos.
Neil, it's great to be on. Thank you. It's always great to talk with you. Thank you.
Well, I reckon it's all over, but the crying now, huh?
Oh, well, I would say I think the nominees are selected, both parties. It's amazing that Bernie, still on the Democrat side, not willing to concede. And there's a lot of talk in social media by some of the Cruz supporters just saying, it's not over till the convention's over. Let's wait and see what happens. So,
really, the Cruz people?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The basic idea is, even though there's argument that people get to the convention, the GOP convention, the delegates, and, they just choose, for example, to abstain on the first vote, just not vote at all.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they have the legal right to do that, what the consequences unknown. I think there are some Cruz people who it isn't just pro-Cruz, it's a little bit of concern of what kind of candidate and President Donald Trump would be. But yes, I agree with you. It's over. The nominees are set.
Except for this flap about the judge over the past week. Is Trump just one major faux pas away from getting himself booted out of this process?
I actually think this is a good test for him, for Donald Trump, because his complaints about how the judge is handling this case, you're entitled to complain about a judge. And, the Democrats do this all the time. They're complaining about alleged racist motivations of judges and grand juries and police officers. They get to say this all the time. And so I think Donald Trump is probably a little bit surprised by the firestorm in response to his statements. I think that he may have some legitimate gripes, but the test is, can he move to the next level of communication? Can he speak in a more presidential way than he did about this issue? I think he needs to step up and do that.
The rub on this, though, as many have already alluded, is the fact that this is a personal legal matter, a personal civil matter. It's not a government or political matter, and therefore it has no place in the political discourse.
Well, two things about that. One is, yes, it probably would have been wiser if he really truly questioned the judge's motives, asked his lawyers to file a motion to change venue. That's what you do. That's one recourse. And so, but to take it public, put it in a whole different light on it. But having said that, because the judge released the Trump University, many of the court filings, in response to pressure, but he released them, it became a political issue because he was being criticized about Trump University as symbolizing or being evidence of his own corruption or that the university was a fraud. So it was an issue in the campaign.
Boy, it just seems to me he needs a full-time babysitter with a choke collar. Or one of those electric collars, maybe, where every time he starts to say something really stupid, you just give him a little shock. Maybe Paul Ryan could have his finger on the button.
There you go. Well, the list of people who came out denouncing what he said about this judge, these are not insignificant players in the GOP.
Yeah.
They are House members, senators, really critical of him. So I hope he will step back and just say, somebody here, give me 3 talking points I can say about why I'm concerned about this case, and then move on. He actually chose last night in his speech after the primaries were over to not say a word about it. He just tried to go forward with we've got to unite, I will unite, I have your back, all that kind of stuff. So he's trying to move on, and I don't know, the media is not going to let him move on easily. They're going to keep it up because they think it hurts him.
Okay, well, just for fun, let's move to the extreme left now for a moment. This is the day that Bernie Sanders said he would take to reassess his campaign. I talked to a number of people yesterday, several that were actually in Bernie's camp, and the mantra, the whole thing's fixed, and this isn't fair, and the superdelegates and blah, blah, blah. But when it comes down to it, there are many, even those who support him, who believe that his actions to this point now are entirely self-serving and are not in any way helping the Democratic Party.
I think that is true. I've always said about Bernie Sanders, in some ways, he's the most kind of example of the most genuine candidate. He really is a hardcore. He believes in socialism. He's deeply an ideologue. He doesn't really he's running because he believes in things and he thinks they matter. So to give up on those things, it's not the ego thing like you sense from some candidates. I don't think. I think with him, this is the moment to say, I love socialism. America should embrace it. So, it's really hard to let go of that for him. But yes, at this point, I think he is hurting the party. And I think he could help the party immensely by saying to his followers, okay, we had a great run. I love you. Thanks for your support. You got to get behind Hillary. But I think the one reason to hold on a little longer is to argue about platform positions, about arguments he made on various policy issues, to say, I want the party to concede on these because those are what really matter to him.
What's not to love about socialism? Look at Venezuela.
That's why I think I've said it in your show before. I thought it would be a great time for the American political conversation to have Bernie Sanders be the Democrat candidate and just feature for the voters. All of the PACs could have done it, all of the super PACs, just run as helping especially young Americans understand how bad socialism is. It would have been a great thing.
There's your next book, darling.
Yeah.
Well, I know you probably have commitments and everybody yanking your chain this morning, so I won't keep you any longer. But what a pleasure it always is, Debbie. Thank you so much for joining us today, and it's on to the General.
It sure is on the General. Neil, thanks. I love coming on your show. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. That's Debbie Georgatos with us here. And make sure you look her up. She's a fascinating, very, very talented lady, talk show host, author. Ladies, Can We Talk is the book and the show. And highly recommend that you check her website as well for great political insight and other stuff. And I meant what I said. Maybe she can help your sickly houseplants. Just saying.